we do it like we do it.
Hi, everyone. Oh, I don't have my finger.
Hey, I like that. I like that new intro.
Hey, thanks. You know, we're making a lot of changes here at Up and Atom. You know, I don't know if it's officially been announced, but we just signed a new podcast deal, and there's a lot of things happening and moving forward. A new big interview coming up, and yeah, we're kind of excited
So
around
much
here.
stuff. Are you guys?
Stuff.
Are people gonna have a chance to say hi to you guys at BravoCon? You're gonna be there, right?
Oh, 100%, guys. I don't know who is going to BravoCon, but if you are, it is going to be ridiculous. It's in Vegas. It's in Vegas.
That'll be
Josh, are you gonna swing by?
Kind of hard with the two little ones.
Just hop on down with the kids and just swing up to.
If I was
BravoCon.
If we had a reason to be there, I'd be there, Jason. But unlike you and Adam, I don't cover it full time, so I gotta pay the bills.
There are a lot of mysteries surrounding BravoCon currently, and we're trying to figure those out on who's doing what and what's happening. But I think it will be a surprise to everyone. So I'm excited to find out what those are.
Oh, Ashley Temple, first time watching live.
Hey,
Ashley, thanks for joining.
Welcome. So if you're new here, welcome to Anchor Watch, our late night below deck chat where we cover anything below deck and recap the previous episode from the night before. And yeah, here we are.
Yeah. And you know what? Greg, our friend Greg has been joining us this season, but
yes, he'll be back.
Someone didn't do their homework yesterday. So life sometimes gets in the way, folks. So don't worry. If you've been having fun with Greg, we have been. He'll be joining us again.
He'll be here. He'll be here. A lot of everyone will be back. He didn't get his papers.
He's like Kyle.
He's stuck like Kyle and Tumi. Okay, wait, I have a question though. Isn't it so nice to just watch, and even though it was a supersized episode or whatever they call it, right? Isn't it nice to just see one episode of Below Deck and not like 15?
Well, look, you and I do this show. We range anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the episode and what's going on. But if we have one episode, it's nice for you and I to be able to like kind of dive in more in detail. When we have 2 episodes to cover every week, that's 2 hours of info to cram.
Oh my God, it's a shit show.
Yeah, it's hard, folks. So I know some people prefer 2. I'm seeing in the chat some people prefer 1. LTD's with us prefers 1. Yeah, I do, Jason. I like having 1 episode.
I like having 1. I do have to say, if we did have 2, if we have to watch 2, I don't want to watch 2 episodes of Sailing. I would rather watch 2 episodes of Down Under. I'm still missing the energy already of Captain Jason and Aisha. I really am.
Yeah. That's kind of okay. So a couple things right off the bat.
Okay.
You text me. You're always a little ahead of me because you're on the East Coast. I'm all way over on the West Coast. You sent me a text. Yeah, you were like, "Hey, girl," and you kind of said, 20 minutes in, it's still a little boring. You used the B word.
Little lackluster. It's a little lackluster.
Did it really boring for you?
It got better. I think we're moving in a direction, but this is our 2nd episode, right? And then Down Under just, I don't know, for some reason the 2nd season of Down Under kind of just elevated my standard for Below Deck, right? Like it really did. I was just kind of like, oh man, this is good. And then I'm just not getting into it, guys. I see a lot of new people in the chat and a lot of people just catching our live for the first time. It's just Josh and I tonight, so sorry for boring, but no, I'm just kidding. We're great. We're so amazing.
You're amazing.
What? No, I'm just no, guys. Welcome to Anchor Watch. We take over Adam's channel and just ruin it, make it awful. No, I don't know. Like I don't know how I feel yet. Like the excitement of Sandy back on Med. I'm not being hit by that, and I like Sandy, and I'm not excited.
And
the situations, I'm not excited.
Yeah, the situations are. And here's the other thing too. 2 of our bigger personalities, Tumi and Kyle, weren't on the ship yet. Tumi just arrives, which we will talk about, but Kyle's not there yet. So it kind of feels like it's like the show's telling us, wait for it, wait for it, wait for, and I'm like, okay, how long are we gonna wait for it? Like, let's get going.
2 episodes. 2 episodes. We don't have our chief stew. Now we're waiting to our 3rd episode to have our 2nd stew, which is Kyle, not Natalia, by the way. I don't know how they're gonna work that out or how they're gonna make that label, if they're gonna be the same like equal level stew, and there's gonna be like Jessica on the bottom. I don't know how that's gonna work yet. I'm really curious, but
Yeah. So okay. So Ruan, it's official. Wait, is that how I say his name? I've already
it doesn't matter. Bye, girl.
Ruan, yeah. He's unfortunately no longer with us. It sounds like, he was forging papers, and from the way he responded to Captain Sandy and his quick, I'm not even going to try to remedy this. It's pretty obvious he kind of knew he was not on the most legal of terms. So yeah, so he's gone. So, but that left our,
I'm curious though, because I didn't check his Instagram, but I heard he had some kind of Instagram response, and he's just not that important for me to go check. Because usually I would bring up the Instagram things, and we would do the whole like.
If this was
we'll
someone we've
pull up
had
the
a couple
page.
episodes with or something, but we really had 15 minutes with the dude. So
Barely. I would say like 13 minutes and 54 seconds, and then
yeah,
it's kind of like, dude, you were talking about how you like rode the tender in on like these 15-foot swells, and I'm just not buying it anymore. Like, I just don't care. In fact, I'm deleting your photo so we don't have to bring it up ever again. We just have this photo. This is our new bosun. This is Luca. He is amazing. And what we have been hearing many times from Sandy this season is highly recommended by Captain Jason. Tumi, highly recommended by Captain Jason. Luca, highly recommended by Captain Jason. I just think we're going to see so many more crossovers as Below Deck continues. I really do.
and as hard as the job is, it's also just a bunch of young people. So you can work, they can work hard. You and I did hundreds, thousands of shows, literally.
Thousands, Josh. I think we clocked at least, I clocked 3,000 something shows. Yeah, I know you've clocked more.
Yeah, I've done over 10,000 live performances.
Okay, well, whatever.
So that's the time to do it when you're young. Just you're a workhorse. And so these kids, they can throw them from boat to boat. And quite frankly, like, I don't know. Again, we're seeing people that we have a history with, and I'm enjoying it. I know some people don't, like, they like to see more fresh faces, but then it's such a casting crapshoot, and we've ended up with some really boring seasons because some people just, yes, technically they can do the job and they're good for the job. And in normal life, they would probably be great to have on a yacht. But when you're watching a show on television, you need some more, and not everybody has some more to offer. And
yeah,
I like when we find someone who's got a personality, who's got energy. Yeah, let's keep throwing them together in different combinations.
I agree. I'm so happy. I'm happy to see Luca again. I'm happy to see Luca in a different situation. I'm happy to see Tumi come in her situation from watching her on season 1 of Down Under. I'm excited to see Kyle and Natalia work together again, whether that's going to be a good thing or not. I'm already predicting that's going to be a shit show. So it's going to be amazing for us. But yeah, no, I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. Okay. I don't know where to start here, but I do want to see, I just want to acknowledge some of the live chat, people in the live chat. Because a lot of them are very happy seeing some new, or not fresh faces, but some familiar faces.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. You know what? We should have made this a poll. I think it's too late to do a poll now, but I will next episode, Jason, let's do a poll coming into the chat. And it's either, I enjoy seeing familiar faces, or I want to see less of them, or something like that. Let's get a poll.
I mean, look at the fresh faces we have in this season really quick. Let's just run through them really quick. The fresh faces we have Chef Jack. Amazing. Can't understand half the shit he says, but I love him. He's great. Then we have Jessica. She is a firecracker that I don't think we've seen go off yet. I think that we're going to see that later in the season.
Bit of a whiner.
Yeah.
I think Jessica's a bit of a whiner. Keep going.
I do too. It's not fair.
Yeah, well, we can talk about
But
it.
we have Lara, who seems amazing. And in fact, just watching her this episode deal with what she had to deal with, this is something. So we have Lara and Haley who are on the deck team under Luca, right? So he has two female deckhands working for him who they don't ask questions, they don't ask why, they don't ask if, they just take care of business. And one of those situations was Lara, and she called Haley, and at one point, I think one of the ropes like went around the
Propeller.
what the
Propeller.
thank you, the propeller was going around, and she's like, oh shit, like this is a big deal, but I'm not going to whine about it. I'm not going to call Captain Sandy and bother her with it. I'm not going to call Luca and bother her. I'm going to fix this shit and fix this situation. And that's exactly what she did. She put on her mask.
One thing, I love it. I love that she jumped in. I love that she fixed it. Didn't hesitate. Got the job done.
Right.
I would have radioed and just said, hey, everyone, for a moment, there's a rope tangled. I'm going to go untangle it. For the love of God, please don't turn on the propeller. Like, they weren't going anywhere. The anchor was dropped, but that's to me. And this is, of course, we don't have Captain Sean when I want to ask him a safety question, but this has to be a complete safety violation. Like, you gotta.
I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe. But do you know what? Like, I was putting myself in her situation. I was like, God, I probably would have done the same thing because I don't want to look like. I don't even know if that was her fault.
No. And even if it's her fault or not her fault, whatever, she was going to deal with it and she dealt with it great. I'm just saying purely, and I'm Mr. Safety here, but I would have said, hey, gang, just real quick, I'm jumping in the water right now. Please do not start the propeller. We have a rope tangled. I'm just going to untangle it. And then I would have just dove in.
FYI. Evelyn, thank you so much for the super chat. Enjoy watching Anchor Watch with you guys. Makes me smile. Thank you so much, Evelyn. We appreciate it, and appreciate you guys all being here. We have 165 in the room. If you haven't already, do the one thing we just love asking, and we don't ask too much, but hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. It's like leaving a tip for our small crew tonight. We're a little shorthanded.
Mary's with me. Mary and I will be the ones with all of our fingers. Thank you, Mary. She says, I agree with Josh. It was a safety.
Thanks, Mary.
All right. So if you agree with Josh, your message will get put on the screen.
So speaking of new faces and new things happening, we have this charter, right? This charter with Captain Sandy's friend, who's a doctor who helped fix her eye, etc., etc. However, they are charter guests on board who want to have a good experience and a good breakfast. And Josh, I'm a big breakfast maker, so I wanted to ask you about this situation that happened with Chef Jack, who I actually really love. So can he just not make eggs, but he can make everything else?
I don't understand this whole Americans have 30 ways to make eggs. Look, over easy, over medium. Jason, do you know the difference between over easy and over medium?
Yes.
What's the difference?
It's just a little harder. If I do over easy on avocado toast, which I like over easy, I love it to like just melt and spread. Over medium, you kind of have that little like chunky yolk part.
Okay, here's my understanding of over medium, because I order eggs over medium. This is my understanding. Over easy is you let it. No, stop. It's not. It's just as runny. Here's the deal: you let the egg sit. That's over easy. Over medium is turn it over one time so the whites cook on the other side. Just for a moment. Just turn it over so the whites cook a little bit more.
Okay.
That's just, I don't like runny whites. And so, folks, if I'm wrong, tell me in the chat. I'm probably wrong. But
I agree. But usually when I do over medium, I flip it.
That's what I'm saying. Over medium is just flip it. You're just kissing the heat
I let
so the whites cook.
I know.
But it doesn't cook.
It's over medium. It's still like spurts.
It's still totally runny. I get it every. I go to my family and I. We go to the same brunch spot every weekend. I kid you not. They have a loyalty program thing, so I can see how many times we've been. We've been like 200 times. We go every Sunday, and I always order my eggs over medium. And you would know no difference. They are totally runny. So,
I listen. There is a part of me that just agrees with the simplicity. Like I get though, because I have so many friends who are like over medium flambe dube chamba, like over medium plus, or I'm like, what the hell? You really only have two options. It's gonna run or it's not, or it's poached or it's scrambled. Like that's it, right? So I do agree with
Stephanie says the eggs. Seriously, Michelin chef. Apparently he needs Gordon Ramsay training. Yeah, you know what? Gordon Ramsay, he'll do a challenge every once in a while when he wants to like clear out a bunch of people, and he literally just has them cook eggs, and it takes out like half the competitors on like Master Chef. Folks.
Oh, and he has Kitchen Nightmares is back too. I know season like 20 something.
Hey, we'll be watching.
Hey, girl. Okay, so that's one of the things I wanted to bring up. But the other thing is, you know, we have Natalia running the boat. So I wanted to get your kind of 2 cents on this, because I want to give Natalia a lot of credit for stepping up into a position that she was not hired to be in, right? She wasn't hired to be the chief stew. She's stepping in. Luca was not hired to be the bosun. However, he is qualified to be the bosun. And I think he's going to make a great leader. I can't wait to see when we get the next deckhand to see how that will change the dynamic with the 2 girls and the 2 guys, because the next deckhand coming in is a guy.
So you know what's funny about, so first of all, they were both, Captain Sandy lucked out that she had both of them on her crew, because they are both the kind of people who want to get the job done and not complain. So it's like, of all the people to ask to step in last minute and be chief stew and step in last minute and be bosun, she really got lucky that she had both of them. But also, like, I remember last season on Down Under, when Luca arrived, he arrived and was essentially, I was under the impression he had actually been a bosun before.
I believe so too.
That's what I thought they had said. And like, so they were telling Joao, like, hey, you're going to have it much better now because you're basically getting a second bosun on. And so, and when he carried himself on below Down Under, he totally carried himself as completely thoroughly knowledgeable. There was never, he like, all of a sudden it was just easy. Yeah, Deanna, actually eggs do sound good right now.
Sounds
I love
great.
eggs and toast. Runny eggs on toast with a piece of American cheese. That's like my favorite. But he was so competent. So it is funny because he never showed the side of like, oh, maybe I'm a little nervous. And it's probably because he didn't have the full responsibility of bosun. So it's kind of fun to see him like now, like I 100% don't doubt his capabilities, but it's fun to hear him be like, oh, I'm a little nervous to actually be the bosun. You know what I mean? Like
I know, and I agree, and I think he's done a great job. But at the same time, like Sandy said, you know, when they were calling distances that very first episode, and she asked Ruan like, "What is that distance?" And he's like, "I don't know, 300 miles." And it's like, no, it's like 10 feet, girl. Like it's right there, you know. And Luca called it perfectly. And I think that that's something that she has to rely on. And I not only does she have the recommendation from Captain Jason and just working with him, but you know, she has already kind of an ingredient for success with knowing that he can call.
People in the chat are already saying after the show, everyone head to the kitchen and cook eggs. I think tonight a lot of eggs are going to crack across America thanks to this show.
We go through so many eggs in this house because we put eggs on. We have eggs in the morning. We have eggs on like quinoa bowls and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. No,
eggs at lunch. Easy, simple. Jason, I'll be right back in 15 minutes. We're gonna go have some eggs.
All right. I just thought it was a funny debate because there was that debate with the charter guests, Sandy's friends, Captain Sandy's friends, about the eggs, and it's like, well, he can do everything else except eggs, and it's like, just eat your damn eggs. Like they all taste the same, you know.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
a little whipped egg, a poached egg, it's still an egg. A hard-boiled egg, it's still an egg. It's an egg. Just eat your egg. Not a big deal. Okay. So I know it was kind of like, it was a supersized episode, as they called it, but it's still like, I felt like there wasn't so much that happened. I feel like we're already in a filler episode 2, and we just got done talking about how amazing it was to watch Down Under, where every episode, we were getting 2 a week, was just one after the other of consistent, like, here's the bar and we're going to keep it here, you know?
I keep putting egg comments up. Someone wrote, Carol Garrison wrote, who would have
enough with
it? About the eggs? I vote both. Oh, sorry guys, we're not going to talk about eggs anymore.
Who knew we would be talking about eggs for 20 minutes.
Oh
But
my
I mean, listen, this was
Hey,
part of the argument that we watched on the
yes,
show, you
it
know,
was
so we have to
apparently
talk about it.
The Achilles heel of an amazing. Okay, Jason, I think it's been a while. I was thinking about this when we were watching Jack, our chef. It's been a while since I talked about my difference between a Buster Keaton and a Charlie Chaplin, right? So for folks at home, when I think about people, this went back to my performance days and my art days. I used to think of people as a Buster Keaton or a Charlie Chaplin.
All right.
As I studied a lot. Charlie Chaplin was artsy, beautiful. He was like a ballerina on the stage. He spoke about the high art of doing things and constructing the story and stuff. He was truly an artist. Buster Keaton was an vaudevillian, and his family did it to pay the bills. And that was his approach. He was very blue collar in his approach towards working. Both of them ended up making beautiful art. They just both had a very different approach to it.
I love this.
Yeah. So at times I fancy myself more of a Buster Keaton. And then there's times where when I'm around a bunch of Buster Keatons, I start to become a little bit more Chaplin when we're writing. Anyways, but that brings us to our Jack. And I think about Jack, and you know what? He's a Buster Keaton to me. He makes beautiful art, but he treats it so blue collar. He doesn't over talk about himself or the process or anything. He's very much, his attitude is like, I just do it. I do the work. This is what I do. And then the result is this amazing, beautiful dishes and incredible Michelin level food. But you would never think I think if you met him on the street and someone told you this guy's a bricklayer, I think you'd go, yeah, he probably is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he probably is. It goes back to his egg comment too. Like, I don't want to bring eggs up again. I'm sick of talking about eggs tonight. But, you know, he's like, I don't know about eggs. I don't even eat breakfast. I don't care about eggs. And it's like, but then you make this dinner that looks like, how the hell did you come up with that? How is it so beautiful? And like artistically, like the way you look at it and how it tastes. And
when he did that big dinner for the guys and what they had the multi courses, it was stunning what he was creating. Definitely one of maybe the best chefs we've had. Like, seriously, technically.
We say that every season, right?
I know. But
we say it's been Chef Marcos and Chef Rachel, and we keep going, but we have these amazing chefs, and that Serena just from last season.
Hey, we got to talk about the super chat. Brandy Spain, Kyle coming in. I can't wait for the drama. Ooh, Brandy, you know it's coming, and it's gonna be.
Can I tell you? There is a reason that we are waiting 3 episodes. And Brandy, thank you, by the way, for the super chat. But there's a reason we are waiting 3 episodes to bring Kyle in. Okay, Kyle was in last season. Kyle was drama. Bravo is drama. Reality TV is drama. We cannot have this show without Kyle. And already 2 episodes in, I'm like, we need Kyle. I've met Kyle. I met him last year at BravoCon. He invited Adam and I to. I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but yes. No, but he invited us to the Below Deck party at BravoCon last year. We had such a great time with him and his now fiance. And, you know, a lot of people from Below Deck were there. Everyone. A lot of people, though, Kyle didn't have an ego. Kyle is dramatic and fun and full of life. But a lot of those Below Deck people had it was like, are you a housewife of 15 seasons? Or are you on Below Deck for 1?
I think it is funny how, he's done 1 season, but had quite the impact because he is so divisive. The comments that we're
polarizing as hell.
It's right? Interesting to me because at first he was almost like silly, like goofy, and then all of a sudden it got more and more like, look at that face, sassy. Look at him.
Hey, girl. You do not want to mess with this dress. I promise.
Jason, we have another super chat coming in. Mary, she says we are now on a 5-minute egg talk ban. Well, I guess she paid for the super sticker, so we're stuck. I'm setting a timer right now. Mary, in 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you something about eggs.
In 5 minutes, we're just going to end this live, so we don't have to talk about eggs anymore. But Mary,
I've set a timer right now. 5 minutes.
Wait, where are we? 25 minutes. Okay, yeah, I see it. Okay.
We just started. So
there we go. Okay, no more EGGS. We're done. We are done, Mary. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I think Kyle coming in is going to cause a lot of drama because we're already seeing. Okay, I want to get past all the other stuff because I want to get onto the big part of the conversation. We're going to keep it pretty short tonight, guys. We have a lot going on in both households over here, but okay, yeah. Let's wrap this up really quick. So the charter guests leave. They leave a $20,000 tip. They seem to be happy. I mean, really, with the situation they had with like a lackluster start and like they seem to have a good time, but then you had like the guy who had with the motion sickness and whatever. I want to talk about Natalia really quick. Okay, can I just say that?
Well, okay, wait.
Not the Natalia and Tumi situation. That's a whole different.
Okay, because
we going to be a different argument.
We need to hit on, not that there's much there, but we do need to hit on the first night out, which then takes us into the first day with Tumi. But what do you want to say about Natalia?
Well, kind of the first night out is Natalia has this thing like kind of for Luca, right? But Natalia has a boyfriend, but she has an open relationship, but she herself can't clarify what an open relationship is or what it is to her and her boyfriend. And I have to say, like, listen, we said this last week, but if you guys didn't know, I'm gay. And just
we had so many comments last week, Jason.
I know it's stupid. I'm not even bringing that up. Like
people loved it. Anyways, go ahead. So Jason,
we live in the sparkle over here. But I do have to say, you know, we have a lot of friends, and it doesn't matter being gay or straight or anything, who have different levels and ideas of relationships and what they should be. I do have to say though, as an observer, I watch some of my straight and gay friends with open relationships always come into this bind of not really clarifying what that is. And I don't know. I don't know where this lies in the future of Luca and Natalia, because I feel like Natalia is confused, but Luca is like, I'm single. I don't care. Whatever.
Jason, you know how old man Josh feels.
You love a good open relationship.
Oh my gosh. Different folks, different strokes.
Different strokes for
different folks for different strokes. But
sure.
I just personally, I think that flies in the face of what a relationship's supposed to be and what you get out of. You and I are both people in long-term committed relationships. There are things that happen and benefits you get only with time, in my opinion.
100%.
And so, yeah, I think the open relationship thing, to me, it feels selfish in a way. Like, I want you when you're around, but anyways.
I know. Okay, listen. Just go back.
Natalia totally confused.
I'm pretty traditional, so I'm going to go ahead. But I have to say, watching it from an outside perspective and having an opinion of being a viewer, I'm going to say it does kind of come off a little, like you said, maybe a little selfish, because she doesn't know what it means to her boyfriend. But then you have texts from her boyfriend, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe I like this guy." And it's like, well, this isn't really driving your relationship further into depth. You know, it's just kind of, I don't know, it just feels confusing. But I have to say, you know, last time when we were talking about Below Deck Down Under,
I think Tess has it right though. I am waiting for a throuple. That's really that's what it comes down to. No,
I'm trying to think, who would be the three?
To me, I want to live in a society where people can make decisions and do their own thing. So
sure, yeah,
that is. But on a show where I'm supposed to express my opinions, I just share with you guys my opinions, because I think my opinion is maybe these days the minority, I sometimes feel like. And so for the few people out there who might agree with me, yeah, Jason, I know you and I are both the same way. I'm just expressing it so that way the few of you out there won't feel alone. But do I think you shouldn't have the option to do what you want? No, of course not. I think.
Oh, but listen, we have friends. I know we both have friends who have a lot of different
ways
of living their life. And that's fine.
Really wild stuff out there.
We were in the circus. It just happens. Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat. Her boyfriend refuses to answer any hookup questions. And then she responds with, after he asks, are there any hot guys in the boat? Well, maybe. I don't know. What are you trying to do with your watch?
I was trying to show you guys 5 minutes is up. Scrambled eggs. Sandwich. Yummy. Our 5 minutes up. I was allowed to say it.
Have you ever had an egg McMuffin?
Ooh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, first of all, Brandy. But I had to jump in there. My 5-minute egg timer was up. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, guys. Now we had the first night out, which
but do you think there's going to be a boatmance? Do you think that Natalia and Luca will be a thing, or you think this is just like a first 2 episode thing?
Are they going to be?
How we get that?
Are they going to be?
Do you think we're going to see a boatmance?
Are they going to hook up?
I don't think so. I think what we're being played these first 2 episodes, that we don't have much going on. There's not a lot of movement in these first 2 episodes.
They're both really good looking people.
We're back. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I find them both equally attractive. Hey, girl.
She has a lot of great photos. Some folks told me
this is the wrong one, right?
Why does she have the crazy eyes in this? Like, I'm gonna get you.
Hi, I'm Natalia. It's like, wow, that's
okay.
a lot. But
Jason.
then when you watch her Instagram and stuff, and it's like, you are not that person that you portray in this picture. You know who I forgot about? Haley. I forgot about Haley.
Tips. I mean, she showed her tips, right?
She showed her tips. I mean, listen.
Tips. I said tips, for crying out loud.
No, gosh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Just really quick on Haley. I think she's great. Team player. Great, but we did lose someone this episode, and that is Brooke, who I felt like, to be honest, because her dad was like, the owner of Sprouts, which is this amazing grocery store that both you and I, that we both used to go to in LA and stuff. But do they have them up in where you are?
I wish. You would think they'd be up in the Portland area, but
yeah, they don't. Oh,
not yet.
I feel like someone was doing someone a favor, because like she had never worked on yachts. Now she's working on a yacht, and her dad was in Sprouts, and he was also a captain. And
I think it was a good experience. And who knows, we might see her back down the road. But she needs some more experience, and doing a super yacht on like at this level, she needs some lower level experience first. But this was a taste for her, and she got to go, okay, yeah, I think I want to do this. So.
Yeah. Oh, Brooke. Oh, Brooke. Oh, Brooke. Okay, can we talk about the big elephant in the room? We'll end that on this tonight.
Tumi. So, Jason, you and I started to talk about this,
and then we decided to wait.
We stopped because we knew this was going to be a good conversation. I want to say this before we go into this.
Okay.
This is my first time. Remember, I didn't watch season 1 of Down Under.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This is my introduction to Tumi.
Okay. What I would say, just because, by the way, we called her on this season like last year, by the way. Yes. But I do want to say this is not the best first impression of Tumi if you haven't seen her before. But if you have, you would understand where she's coming from. And as much as I do, and I'm going to go ahead and just give my opinion, and then you can give me yours.
Yeah. Go for it.
The chat is going to hate me tonight, because I saw everyone talking about this before we started and went live tonight. Guys, 200 in the room, hit that like button before I piss you off, please. I appreciate it. We really appreciate it. I really felt like Tumi walked into, here, let me start with Natalia.
Okay.
She did a great job filling in. Honestly, she's not a chief stew. 100%. Like, nothing she did, in my opinion, was that of a chief stew we've seen in the past. I feel like she, the guest went onto land for a day. They weren't really picky because they're Captain Sandy's friends, and you got away with a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have gotten away with maybe before. Whereas Tumi, who has not been a chief stew either before, but as the experience is coming on board, And I don't think when she came on, she was being very aggressive and assertive in saying the things she was going to say. I think she was kind of feeling things out, and she noticed there was a lot of disorganization on the boat. And that's not blaming Natalia, but a lot of people I saw in the chat and on other chats before I came on here were saying, wow, Tumi is so defensive. I found it to be the opposite. I found Natalia to be defensive when Tumi would ask her any questions. I really don't think that that's fair, but I feel like they've gotten off to the wrong, like way off on the wrong foot, way off, bad start, and I don't think it's going to pan out well for the rest of the season, which makes me want to watch.
I can see why you would think that, Jason, but you're wrong.
Okay. I'm always wrong. How am I always wrong?
I'm kidding. But no, look. So this is, like I said, this is my introduction to Tumi. So I kind of feel like Natalia, because this is Natalia's introduction to Tumi. So Natalia and I, we're besties and we're going through this together. We're both being Tumi at the same time. Yeah. So first of all, there was a miscommunication between the two, because what they were both saying was valid. I think what they were both saying was valid.
Agreed.
To me, what she was saying, the point she was trying to make, okay, I understood it. It was valid. Natalia standing up for what she thought Tumi was saying was valid, because she was like, wait, hold up. Like, so my point is, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And so I'm going to say, in this case, in my opinion, like, Tumi is the one who, she's the leader. She stepped up and is in the captain seat of the interior.
Right.
So it's her job to be a little bit more, to judge her words a little better and how she's coming across. Like, right there, I'm seeing someone who's like, I get it. She's coming on. She's trying to assert herself a little. She's feeling a little like how she has to play catch up because she's a little late. She's already a charter late. Someone had to step in and fill for her. But it's like, I don't know. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I
think that if I would have watched this from not seeing Natalia or Tumi before, I might agree with you. But just from seeing Tumi before and seeing Natalia last season, Natalia doesn't really listen to what people are saying. She reacts before she listens.
I will say
that's where she gets in trouble.
I'm in sales, Jason. My whole job is communication. And when we were in entertainment, our whole job was entertainment.
Absolutely.
My adult life is communication. Here I am jumping and choking over my words. Communication. I is good at it. No,
my whole job is
my job, me good communicator. No. And so I'm just saying, I feel like it was a miss on Tumi. Tumi was not communicating effectively. And like, I do think she could have been a little bit more chill with Natalia. And then this whole well, that's my thing, blah, 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 stop. Like, it's like, well, don't cut people off. That's not a good leader.
Right.
People should,
do you feel like, though,
not because of your title, but because of who you are? That's a true leader. That's a true leader.
And I agree with that. I just don't know if the reaction from Natalia, especially when she just started getting so reactive from Tumi, don't do your hands like this. I'm like, whoa, girl, this is your first interaction. Maybe just take a breath, because every leader, every person who's in like a management position, you won't necessarily like, right? So I give it a second, but Natalia, and she has a whole season to go reference, is very quick in reacting. She's not really great at listening, and she's kind of dramatic. So, that's where I do understand your point. I do understand that Tumi it wasn't that same energy she had in season 1 of Below Deck Down Under. That is for sure. We are not seeing the same.
Mary Stewart with her super chat brings a great point. She says Tumi has already been influenced by Kyle against Natalia. So
Is Kyle wrong?
Those two were hanging out. Kyle and Mary. Kyle and Tumi were hanging out before, waiting for their papers to come in.
Yeah.
Tumi shared that with us.
I want to go back to Tumi and Kyle lived for a while together, not together, but were together in New York. So a lot of them were in New York together. Natalia the same, but never met Tumi. But Tumi and Kyle, I think, were friends before they even came on to this season.
Yeah. So do I think
actually I almost can pretty sure say that because at the BravoCon, I'm trying to think about the party last year. Yeah.
Do I think Kyle has been giving Tumi an earful about Natalia?
Not Kyle. Why would Kyle do that? He wouldn't do that.
So I do think
drama.
I do think Mary has a point that already she probably has a little bit of bias too. Thank you, Mary, for the super chat. And
thank you, Mary.
A great point, which
a very valid point. I do have to agree, but is Kyle wrong? I guess that's what we will find out later in this season, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of back and forth. There is one moment that we saw in our preview where Captain Sandy was talking about a common denominator within like kind of fights and stuff during the season, and I'm wondering who that would be. But also we know that in season 9 of Below Deck Med, Tumi is not the chief stew. It is Aisha in the next season of Below Deck Med. So what happens? Does Tumi move over to Below Deck Down Under? Does she not fit the bill? I mean, I don't know. We're going to see how this plays out. I'm really excited to see Kyle join. I mean, listen, we need the sass. We really do.
At that face.
This one's not doing it for me. So
she's more of a complainer. Maybe she'll get better now that that
maybe she's the common denominator.
Maybe she is. There's the fact we have several potential people tells us this might end up being a great season. Right now it's a little boring, but
crossing fingers. I have to agree with you. Besides seeing Luca and all these familiar faces, Natalia, Tumi, Kyle eventually, Captain Sandy, of course. But besides seeing those familiar faces, I'm not very invested yet. And I hate to say it because we talk about Below Deck every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. or 8 p.m. your time. And it just seems like this is just not hitting right off the bat. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Look, we're not the only one thinks that L Powers 89. It is boring right now. Yeah. So
yeah, it is. I mean, just like I said, the consistency of Down Under season 2 and Elaine in the live chat. Great. Maybe it is a buildup. Maybe we're building up to something bigger and maybe we're going to have the guests that are also going to play a part in this. And yeah, we shall see.
If you're watching and you want to tip our crew, hit the like button. There's over 250 people right now live. If you guys could hit the like button, that would be awesome. It's a simple thing, but it totally helps us with the algorithm. Those of you guys who are watching, replay crew, comment. Jason and I go in all week. We check, we comment back.
Absolutely.
And check back, because I think some of you guys don't realize we've replied to your comments. And
yeah.
So we do.
And you ask a question back sometime, and I'm like waiting for it. I'm like, are you going to answer? Please answer. Please answer me.
Friends. We need friends. All we have is each other. No. So yeah, another great show. I love our friends on here. So.
I know we have a great Naughty Yachty crew here. All the big tip buoys and the Naughty Yachties in the chat, and our mods and our subs. Thank you so much, guys. So we are. If you prefer listening on the podcast, we are just joining our friends at Cloud 10 Media on our podcast. So every live stream we do is also a podcast, but there will be standalone episodes starting in the next few weeks. And this next big interview that Adam's doing, which is amazing, is going to be our big premiere for season 2 on the podcast. And I can't wait. So definitely check that out and go there. And if you like it, just give us some 5 stars and give us some feedback. We love that. And then again, hit the like button tonight. We will be back next week. We will be taking 2 weeks off though, and that will be I believe Halloween and Election Day. We will not be here because we will be at BravoCon. So we'll be putting a lot of content up and doing a lot of behind the scenes and stuff like that, but we will not have Anchor Watch those 2 weeks. So we will be off. But otherwise, Josh, I think we're here pretty much. This is funny. Exactly. You're funny.
Everyone go have some
we are here every week, whether we like it or not. We cover sailing, med, below deck, down under, adventure we didn't cover, but that wasn't, where's adventure now? I don't know. We'll see. Josh,
like it's coming back.
What are you looking forward to next week in this episode besides Kyle's return? Because I think we're all looking forward to like this, welcoming rolling out the red carpet and having all the pomp and circumstance for the drama queen to return.
The drama queen. It's not just for Kyle's return. For me, it's to have the crew at full power so we can get the season started.
Yeah.
So now that we know this is going to be our crew, let's get everyone on the boat and let's get going. I want to see what the dynamics like. I want to have some fun.
Absolutely.
Let's not be left in limbo. Let's go.
No, let's go. I agree. I'm with you on that, guys. Again, if you're a part of the replay crew, leave your comments below and we will see you all next Tuesday. Same time, same place. Good night, Josh. Bye, everyone.